Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. If you're coming on, I want you to hit that like button, hit that share button, tag Lolly Dolly, everybody, and let them know your boy, Prophet Ramon, the squad, and the Ramon Preston Show. We are live in his house on this beautiful Friday, right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. I'm super excited about what we're going to be sharing with you today. Please hit that like button, hit the share button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube page. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, what else? LinkedIn. Make sure that you follow us on all of the social platforms. We are continuing to give value and give information and share the secrets and the strategies and the solutions that we have used to bring our business, our organization to a place of success. And I'm extremely proud of all of you that are part of our business community, those of you that are in our coaching program, those of you that have used us to help consult you and your company, those of you that are participating in our Millionaire Blueprint, our online training program for business and finances. Thank you so much for trusting us. And I'm super excited, not just about what we're doing, but I'm super excited about what you're doing. So please let me know what city you're watching me from today. Put that in the comments. Let me know what city you're watching me from. All right. Got my little squig of my little drink, my little juice. And I'm fired up. I'm ready to rock and roll. This has been an amazing week. This has really been an amazing week because we've been able to do a lot and really see a lot of progress this week. And I'm expecting to push within the next 2 weeks very hard just so that we can end 2021 strong. I don't know about you, but I want to end this year strong. And I ain't giving up on this year just yet. My wife reminded us about that last night in Bible study. She was just telling all of us that God is going to do some amazing things for us in the next 2 weeks. And we should not sleep on what can happen just within a 2-week window. So even though you may be mentally preparing yourself for 2022, you may already have strategies and resolutions and plans and things that you're going to set out to do. But just remember, every day is an opportunity for you to win. Every day, something spectacular, something amazing, something wonderful, something outstanding can happen to you. And as long as you have the right information, as long as you put yourself in the right position, and as long as you continue to maintain commitment and consistency in that thing, you're going to see what you are anticipating to see. So with that being said, welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. I am your host, Ramon Preston. Every Monday through Friday, we show up here to share information with you that we know works and we know can help you start, structure, and scale any business, any ministry, any income stream, any wealth building dream. So if you have dreams and desires, aspirations, ambitions, plans, or goals to pursue anything relating to business, relating to wealth building, relating to investing, relating to financial freedom, what we share with you on this show is going to be complementary to that. And for many of you, it will complete the missing pieces of the puzzle of your personal, professional, and financial life. And so today, I want to talk to you about the 3 keys to climbing the income ladder. The 3 keys to climbing the income ladder. I don't even know if you know that there is an income ladder. For lack of a better way of explaining this income ladder, there are considered to be income classes, particularly in the United States of America. We have income classes. So based on a person's income, society has classified that individual based on their income to fit in a certain class or category. It doesn't necessarily define the person as a human. It doesn't necessarily define their character, their integrity, their dignity and their honor. It just means that based on their income, they fit into a certain income class or financial criteria. Why is that important to know? Well, it's very important to know because if in fact there is a such thing as an income ladder, okay? Let's just say it is a such thing as an income ladder. And on this income ladder, you've got certain levels that reflect a financial position of an individual. Now, of course, depending on how high you go up this ladder is going to have a lot to do to determine not just how much money you have. The higher you go up on this ladder, it's going to determine how much time freedom you have. Is going to have a lot to do to determine how you are flexible to do the things that you want to do. It's going to have a lot to do to determine the quality of the life that you live. It's going to have a lot to do to determine how you take care of your family, how you bless your church, how you serve your community. So being in a certain income class or having a certain financial position within this income ladder is not just about you flaunting and flexing your financial stability. It's not about you showing off the bags, even though people do that for different reasons, but that's not what it's about. More importantly, it's about you creating freedom for yourself. It's about you being able to do those things that you believe God has intended for you to do. And it's about you being able to take care of your family comfortably, to create a quality of life for your family. It's about you being able to take care of your church, your community, and just be an inspiration, an influence, and an impact to the world. I don't know of a person who doesn't want to inspire other people. I don't know of a person, I don't personally, that doesn't want to influence other people positively. I don't know a person who doesn't want to make an impact in people's lives, even if it's just their parents or their children or their spouses. So when you think about this income ladder and the income classes that make up this income ladder, or the financial positions that people are in when it comes to this income ladder, here is what I want you to think about, because I'm going to give you the keys to climbing this ladder. But here's what I want you to think about. Don't just think about yourself. That's something big. Did you catch what I just said? I said, here is what I want you to think about. Like boom. I said, here's what I want you to think about. Okay? Here is what I want you to think about. What do I want you to think about? Somebody like, is your drink spiked, Ramon? Because you seem like you on 100. No, I'm excited about life, baby. Here's what I want you to think about. I don't want you to think about yourself. Stop being selfish when it comes to your financial position. Stop being selfish when it comes to you needing to climb this income ladder. Stop being selfish when it comes to you wanting to have more money and more financial freedom. Stop thinking about yourself. Well, who do I need to think about? This is what I want you to do. Well, the first thing you're going to have to do before you do what I tell you what to do is don't think about yourself. Now, if you move self out of the way, think about what you want to do for your mom. Think about what you would love to do for your father, for your grandparents if they're still living. Think about what you want to do for your kids if you got kids. I got grandkids. My parents are no longer living, but my kids are living. My siblings are living. My wife is living. My grandkids are living. I have employees and staff members and team members. I have people that are considered to be spiritual sons and daughters. So I have so many people to think about when it comes to who I can inspire, who I can influence, and who can I impact if I had more financial freedom. So I want you to really do that. Just move yourself out of the way, okay? Because we want to climb this income ladder. That's what we want to do. Now, let me share with you something that I mentioned a few times this week and last week, and I want to mention to you again. So we have wealthy people up here. This is the wealthy. I'm going to try to make it as easily understandable as possible. Then we have, let's say, the rich. And then just for the purpose of this conversation we're having today, let's just say we have the millionaire right here. Because just because someone is a millionaire doesn't necessarily mean they're rich, okay? It just means that they're a millionaire. So let's just say we got these income classes, or more unofficially speaking, let's just call these financial positions that you could be in, okay? So we have wealthy, we have rich, we have millionaire, then we have upper class. And we have upper class, then we have upper middle, then we have middle, then we have lower middle. I hope you could still see it on the screen. And then we have what they consider to be the poor. Now, let's just say if all of these were financial positions, which they are, these are all financial positions. Now, if you Google income classes, if you Google tax brackets, if you Google certain classes or categories of people from a financial perspective, you may see most of this in this order. Some of these may be missing depending on who's giving you the information. But this is very clear, and this is as accurate as it's going to be, especially coming from someone who has a better understanding of economics and financial literacy than most of the people that are in these spaces right here. All right. So the poor, this is considered to be those who are in the income class maybe below $32,000 a year. Okay, so that's $32K a year and below. That will consider to be that category will be considered to be like poor. The lower middle could be anywhere between 32 and 60K a year. The middle of the middle could be anywhere between 60K and 110 a year. The upper middle could be anywhere between 110K and let's say 400K, just to make it simple, a year. Then the upper class is considered 400K, I would say, to 1 mil a year. And then you have the millionaire. The millionaire could be anywhere between 1 to 10 mil, and then rich could be 10 mil to maybe 100 mil, and then you got wealthy, and that goes to infinity. Now, this is just a rough valuation of these income classes, because I want to show you why you want to climb that income ladder. This is why you want to climb that income ladder, because a lot of people haven't done the math on this enough. And I don't know if some of the people that have influence, that are in certain public or social positions to get the attention, if they're even communicating this correctly, because I think sometimes it comes off as if you are down talking or condescending towards people who make less than people up here. But that's not the truth. It's just about us having a heightened awareness of where we are and how we are categorized financially, where we are, and where we should be in order to at least start the process of creating a quality life, experiencing financial freedom, having the flexibility to take care of our families, be at peace and not be stressed out. We have to do the math on this, ladies and gentlemen. And how are you going to do the math? The only way you're going to do the math is if you know what the equation is. You have to know these things. So I want you to look at this just based on these numbers. And you don't have to put it in the comments. Maybe you will, but again, you can't believe what people put in the comments, because some people are gonna be lying. Oh, I'm wealthy and you broke. But we're not even gonna play that game. But I want you, just for yourself, to get a piece of paper or get your phone or some type of device, and I want you to figure out, where are you? If this was an income class ladder, if this was a financial ladder that you can use to see where you are and how you could climb it, where do you fall in this equation? You don't have to put it in the comments, but I want you to at least do the math on that. And I want you to give yourself an honest assessment. So that means if you're making $32,000 or less, As far as income class, that would be considered the poor income class. If you're making anywhere between $32,000 and $60,000 a year, that's the lower middle class. Okay? If you're making $60K to $110K a year, that's considered like the middle of the middle. If you're making $110,000 to $400,000 a year, that's upper middle class. Okay? If you're making $400,000 a year to $1 million, that would be considered upper class. And then if you're making $1 million to 10, that would be considered like a millionaire. Maybe $1 million to $9 million would be more specific, but we're just talking about single digit millionaires right here between 1 and 10. And then 10 million, you could pretty much say you're rich. You have enough money that if you lost a couple million, you're still a millionaire. You have assets, you have net worth, you may have a lot going on, you may have a lot of influence. And so you're already kind of hitting that, I'm going into this indestructible mode, which between 10 and 100 million, the higher you go, the more indestructible you become. And generally speaking, if you got 100 M's and more, you wealthy. You playing a different game, okay? So I want you to look at this, and if this was like an accurate mathematical equation of financial positions of individual, where do you fall? I want you to look at that and really be clear on that. Maybe you're honest. Maybe you're honest, and maybe you don't care what nobody thinks. You could put in the comments where you are if you wanted to. That would be cool. I really just need to do a whole class on this, because I not only want to help people understand the math behind income classes, but I also want them to understand the methodology and the mindset that is needed to really get out of that class and climb that income ladder, if that makes sense. So I want to get some feedback from you, even if you don't put where you are financially in terms of what you make a year and where your income class is. I want you to just give me some feedback. Is this something that you knew? Did you know that this even existed? Let me know in the comments, because I may even do more courses on this. Even in our Millionaire Blueprint, I may add some more courses on this to really help people get behind the math, the methodology, and the mindsets of these income classes. But I would love to know if this is something that you just found out, or maybe you knew this and you've been trying to get out of this. But that would be an accurate depiction or mathematical equation of where your financial position is with regard to this income ladder. Okay? As a matter of fact, Tony, I know you're watching this. I think we need to go ahead and put a course together and a presentation and create some graphs for this income ladder, and the income classes, and climbing the ladder, and all the steps that we need to take. I think we need to drop a footnote or asterisk beside this, so that we could create our own grid and graph, and then use it for some of our courses to teach our people, so they can understand this. So I'm giving you some time just in case you want to screenshot this or write it down, because I'm getting ready to take you to the next step. I told you I'm going to give you 3 keys to climbing this ladder, but I want you to see what ladder you're climbing, because you got to figure out where you are on this ladder. That's going to have a lot to do with how you climb, right? If you're down here at the bottom, with respect, I'm not saying this to be condescending. If you're at the bottom, well, at least you know where you're at. And at least you can begin to do the math like you're doing, create a methodology, develop the mindset, so that you can start climbing that ladder. I know I'm not the best drawer, but think about this as a ladder. This is like the income class ladder. Okay? So I want you to see where you are, because we want to get you to the top. I want all of us to be to the top. I would love for everybody around me to be at the top, seriously, because then we all good. None of us are struggling. None of us are wanting for nothing. We're all being a blessing to each other. Okay, so I want you to take a look at this, and then we're going to get to the next thing that I want to show you about this. Here's the next thing. So based on this income class, right? Or this income ladder that I'm showing you, maybe you don't know this. Only 1% of Americans make more than $400,000 a year. So from upper class all the way to wealthy, this is only 1%. Did you know that? Only 1% of Americans make more than $400,000 a year, or make $400,000 a year more. So that means 99.9% of everyone in the United States of America makes less than $400,000 a year. Did you know that? You can Google that. As a matter of fact, you can Google that. Only 1% of Americans make at least $400,000 a year and up. And so the higher you go up, from upper class to millionaire to rich to wealthy, all of that is broken down into that 1%. All of this makes up the 1%. Isn't that amazing? Like, seriously, that is like mind-boggling. Only 1%, okay? So let me erase this since I don't have my Google board. Google, I don't know what they doing. Google need to tighten up. I hope somebody that works for Google is watching this. If you work for Google and you're watching this, I want you to reach out to some of your superiors and tell them, I've been given the runaround trying to buy a Google board. I want a Google Jam board, and I have literally called them like 15 times. I've sent emails, I've filled out forms, and I keep getting these weird messages. And nobody's giving me clear direction on what I need to do to purchase a Google board. I'm trying to give y'all $7 grand and y'all don't even want it. I'm like, come on, Google, tighten up. I want a Google board. I'm tired of using erasers and dry erasers. Come on now. Anyway, get back to your point, Ramon, before you start clicking. Now, only 1% of Americans make $400K or more a year. So that is wealthy, that is rich, that is the millionaire, and that is the upper class. So these groups of people here are the ones that make up 1% of Americans. All right, if you make at least $400,000 a year, you are, my friend, a 1%er. You are a 1%er. So I don't want to be condescending towards anyone else, but I want to say this. Congratulations to you, because I know, my wife and I, we know how hard it is just to hit that 1 percentile. So it's not something that should be taken lightly. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of brain space. It takes a lot of delaying gratification. It takes a lot to get into this 1% to where you have at least $400,000 a year coming in like every 12 months. That's tremendous. That's tremendous discipline. And it's not just education, it's discipline, it's mindset, it's habits, it's consistency, it's showing up, it's a lot. It's education, but it's specific education that you have. Now, we have 99% of Americans. We have 99% of Americans that are left, right? This 99.9% of Americans. Now, out of the 99.9% of Americans, out of the 99.9% of Americans that are left, guess what? Statistics and studies show that only about 26% to 29% are considered poor, meaning that they make less than $32K a year. Out of the 99.9%, remember the 1% are $400K and up. So the 99.9% that's left, studies show 26 to 29% of this 99 makes less than 32K. They're considered poor. So now you have about, that's what, 79, that's six, is that 69? Yeah, that's about 60, 67, what is it? Oh, I can't even do my math right. Let me make sure I got this right. So we have 99.9 minus worst case scenario 29%. So that's 70.9. So just based on the worst case scenario, you probably have about 70% of Americans that are considered upper middle, middle, and lower middle. So just based on this sketch that I'm giving you today, just based on this sketch, can you see where most of Americans are? Most of Americans are making at least $32,000 a year. That's lower middle, 32 to 60, middle, 60 to 110, upper middle, 110 to maybe 375, close to 400. This is where most of Americans are. If you don't know where you are, you don't know how to get where you're going, because you don't even know where you're starting from. You have to know this. So if you're making less than $32,000 a year, you're at the bottom of that ladder. If you're making anywhere from $32,000 to 60, you're lower middle. 60 to 110, in the middle of the middle. 110 to 375, upper middle, and then 375 or 400 and up, you're 1 percenter. You're a 1 percenter. You need to know this, because that will help you to develop the methodology and the mindset behind how much work it's going to take. Because if you're making less than $32,000 a year, you have to know what the mental strength is that's needed, what the methodologies are that's needed, what math you need to know in order to get out of that. And so most of the people, and I say this respectfully to those of you that are considered middle class, a lot of people, I'm not going to say most, a lot of people who are in this section right here, a lot of people who are in this section right here, they have it worse than people in this section. Did you hear what I said? A lot of the lower middle, middle, and upper middle class people have it worse than those who are considered to be poor in terms of income class. They have it worse than these individuals here. And the lower you go on the poor income class, or down the poor income class, the lower you go from 32, to some extent, the better off you have it than some people here. But here's the thing. This 70%, a lot of them have it worse than this 30%, but they live like they're the 1% because of their mindset, because of their information, because of what they've been taught. They do not understand that they are here living worse than people here, but acting like they're here. Now, if you just missed what I said, you're probably one of the 70%. All right? So let me go ahead and give you my 3 keys to climbing the income ladder. Man, this board is nasty. 3 keys to climbing the income ladder, okay? 3 keys to climbing. Man, when I tell you these erasers, they go down, they go out so much. I think that's my cue that I need to get my Google board. There we go. 3 keys to climbing the income ladder. 1, 2, 3. Here's what you need. You need the right vehicle. That's number 1. I want you to write it down. I'll explain all 3 of them in just a moment. You need the right vehicle. You need the right vertical. I'll explain it. Oh, I'm talking about vertical. Wow. No, I'm struggling. Vertical, and you need the right velocity. The VDD, okay? Write that down. These are your 3 keys to climbing that ladder that I just explained to you. The 3 keys. So what do I mean when I say you need the right vehicle? Here is what vehicles are. Vehicles are, your income is a vehicle. Your job can be a vehicle. Your relationships can be a vehicle. Let's see what else can be a vehicle. Your business can be a vehicle. These are things that are vehicles. So let's look at the first vehicle, your income. Your income is a vehicle. So how can I use income as a vehicle to climb the income ladder? Well, I have to start managing my income. I have to start monitoring my income. I have to learn how to get disciplined to keep more of my income than I spend. I have to live on less so I can save more, because my income is a vehicle. Your job is a vehicle. So when you work on a job, you have to look at that job as a vehicle, not as a prison. So I do not agree with a lot of people who feel like a job is just over broke. Well, that's because of the job you had. It sounds good when you're using it on social media for memes and cliches, but the truth is, I run my business, I am the CEO, and that's a job. So even though I own a business, even though I am the owner and founder of my organization, I still have a job as a CEO that I got to show up and I got to lead people. It's still a job. So why are you, and this is just a footnote for some of you who are always talking bad about jobs because you're trying to push your little network marketing business, or you trying to push your little side hustle that you are an independent business owner. You need to stop shading people because you're looking ridiculous to people who are already up at the top of that income class. You're looking foolish to people who are already up there, because we looking at you like you don't know what you're talking about, because we all have jobs, and our jobs are not just over broke. So you say a job is just over broke. You talk bad about jobs because you want to push your little network marketing business or your side hustle. But here's the problem. If you ever owned a business, guess what you're going to have to hire people for? Duh, a job. So just be mindful of what your ignorance is doing to cost you more money and to cost you from climbing that ladder. I just thought I'd throw that in because people just get on my nerves when they do that. So your job is a vehicle. And then if you are a network marketer, or you're side hustling and you're always talking about a job is just over broke and you're not making enough money to take care of yourself and your family, that is even more ridiculous. It's just stupid. Because what you should do is go get a job so you can pay your bills, take care of yourself, save your money, be responsible, be disciplined, so that when you transition out of that job, you can go back into owning a business but still have a job in your business. Because if you don't have a job in your business, you're probably not making no money in your business. But then you're not going to be able to hire nobody for a just over broke, because you don't believe in just over broke. So you can't hire nobody. So now you got to do everything yourself. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, a vehicle is a job. A vehicle is relationships. Now, how do I get into relationships? Well, sometimes I got to pay to play. A lot of people got money saved up and they could be spending that money to get into certain doors, but their pride, because they make up that 70%, their pride, they've been taught, oh, you don't got to pay for nothing. You don't got to buy your way. If they ain't going to let you in, don't go in. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Because you look at football games, you look at basketball games, you look at baseball games, you look at soccer games, you look at events that go on just around the world, the biggest events ever, and you just think people showed up to those events because they're just good people. No, a lot of people paid to show up to that event and to have that seat because they knew that relationship within that circle was a vehicle to help get them somewhere that they wanted to be, to continue to climb that ladder. Your business is a vehicle, but here's the thing with the business. You have to make sure you're in the right business or vehicle. Because if you have a business and your business is not necessary, or if the competition is drowning you, or if your products and services are not good enough, then it's not the right business. You have to be willing to grow as a person and develop as a person, because your business is a reflection of you. If my business was not growing, one of the biggest compliments I got yesterday, I just got this compliment yesterday from my personal assistant, and it was one of the biggest compliments I've gotten this year. I've gotten many, but this was one of the biggest ones. She said, the way your business has been growing, the way this company has been growing, she was just talking about how our company has grown, and she was like, we at the end of the year, but I look back to where we was last year and where we are now. Every year it's just been growing and growing and growing, and it just seemed like all of a sudden, like boom, last year we hit a pocket and it took off. And that was a compliment. It wasn't just a professional compliment to me as a CEO or as a boss. It was a personal compliment, because what that says is I am growing at a faster pace as a person. But the reason why I'm growing at a faster pace as a person, you know why? Because I got into different vehicles. I paid a lot of money to get around bigger people who were so high up that ladder that they almost pulled me up and said, you can't stay down there and be around me. So when you start getting around people at the top of that ladder, it's going to pull you. But guess what? You will not get around those kind of people if you don't have income, if you ain't got no job, if you ain't got no relationships, if you ain't got no business. In other words, if you ain't got the right vehicle, because you don't have anything to take you there. So you need the right vehicle. Now, what do you mean by the right vertical? Well, a vertical is like a angle, or you ever seen a vertical? Like a vertical is like this, up and down. A vertical is up and down. So let's say, for example, if you're in real estate can be a vehicle, right? Real estate can be a vehicle. That's a vehicle. But there are many verticals in real estate. You have the vertical of renting property. You have the vertical of Airbnbs. You have the vertical of wholesaling. You have the vertical of residential, the vertical of commercial. You have the vertical of being a real estate agent. So once you get into the right vehicle, you got to make sure you're in the right vertical. So like, for example, another example, I have always been a motivational speaker. I have always been a trainer and a teacher. It's just something that was natural, especially when I got called into the ministry. I got called into the ministry like right when I got saved in the trap house. Like a week or two later, when I came out of the trap house, I was teaching the Bible. I was praying for people, laying hands. And within 2.5 years after that spiritual encounter, I was standing behind a pulpit teaching Bible studies. I was preaching revivals. I was teaching groups of ministers and leaders, and I realized real quick, this was 21, almost 22 years ago, I realized real quick, man, there's something special about what I can do. I have the ability to go read and study and put together messages and sermons, and I never went to seminary. I never went to college. I never went to school. It was just really an ability that I tapped into that I realized worked for me. And so once I got into entrepreneurship, I realized, oh my God, I still have this same ability. I can read books, I can study a lot, and I know how to bring all that stuff together and make it work for me. And I know how to teach it to others. So it really benefited me in both sides of the spectrum, in ministry and in marketplace. Well, guess what? If all of what I did was just in the church, if all of what I had to do was just in the vehicle of Christian ministry, I would be limited in my capacity to climb up that income ladder, because it's only so much money a church can pay you. It's only so much money a church that calls you to come preach can give you. It's only so many offerings you can get. It's only so many donations you can get. It's only so many fish sandwiches you can sell. It's only so much you can do, okay? It's only so much you can do. And so I was of the belief that I wanted to be a blessing to the church. I don't mind people being a blessing to me for my services. However, I wanted to have a more aggressive approach to climbing that ladder, that I didn't feel like, you know, like a scumbag in ministry. I didn't want to feel like a scumbag. In other words, I didn't want to like operate with this high pressure sales mentality in church. It just didn't feel right. So I needed a vehicle outside of that, but I needed a different vertical. So the vehicle of speaking, the vehicle of motivational speaking, the vehicle of preaching, the vehicle of teaching, that was a vehicle for me, because I was good at getting information. I love to study. I'm self-educated. I know how to process information good. I know how to make it work for me, to make it practical. Like, I could read 10 books and I could take all the meat out of those 10 books, and I could create a whole new book with those 10 books that would be more practical, but it would be a composition of all 10, and you wouldn't even know it unless you read all 10 and really understood how I made that one book a new form of what the last 10 books were. But that's what I'm good at doing, and I found that, and so that was a vehicle for me to talk, to communicate, to do what I'm doing right now. But the vertical could not just be behind a pulpit in a church or in front of 15 ministers to train them how to preach or teach or prophesy or cast out devils. I needed different verticals. So that's the vertical. You have to have the right vertical. So just because you're in the right vehicle don't mean you're in the right vertical. And some of you that are really in the vehicle of entrepreneurship and business, don't be married to that vehicle. If that vehicle, this is what I tell all of my coaching clients, if the vehicle you're in or the vertical you're in, if it's not moving you every day closer to your dreams, don't compromise your dreams for a good idea. Let that thing go, pivot, and move into something that can make you some money to get you climbing that ladder. Otherwise, you're going to keep struggling. So you need a vehicle, you need a vertical, and then you need velocity. Do you know what velocity is? Velocity is this. Velocity is, that's what velocity is. Not just, well, I'm just doing what I need to do every day. I'm just out here hustling, throwing up Facebook posts. Oh, back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all up on me. Y'all gonna wish y'all stayed with me. You're just bitter. You're hurt. You're disappointed that nobody's paying attention to you. You know why? Because you're in the wrong vehicle. You're probably in the wrong vertical. Or you might be in the right vehicle and vertical, but you don't have velocity. You're not pushing. You're not grinding. And when I say push and grind, I mean market yourself, promote yourself. Don't be afraid to get in front of a camera and let the world know my name is Ramon Preston. I'm the CEO of Ramon Preston Enterprises. I specialize in helping people start, structure, and scale their businesses, ministries, income streams, and wealth building dreams. I am an expert in business consulting, business coaching, and business and financial training. And guess what? I have a world-class online business and financial wealth building system called the Millionaire Blueprint. And if you want to become a millionaire, if you want to climb that ladder, I need you to do one thing. Text the word millionaire. Text. I want you to text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. If you want to learn what I have learned to become a millionaire, if you want to learn what I have learned to be financially free, if you want to learn what I have learned to put my family and my staff and my tribe in a financial position that they won't have to struggle, that we have created a whole new legacy for generations of wealth, if you want that information, text. My marker is out. Text. One of these markers are going to work. Text millionaire to 404-478-7213. 404-478-7213. If you want access to our blueprint, this Millionaire Blueprint, I want you to text the word millionaire to that number. I really want to get you on this program so that we can teach you how to start and structure your holding company. We're going to train you with tutorials on how to file and form your paperwork, how to draft your operating agreement, how to get your articles of organization. We're going to show you how to run the day-to-day operations of a holding company. We're going to also train you on how to build divisions and subsidiaries. We have a financial literacy program in this Millionaire Blueprint right here. This financial literacy program is going to teach you the ABCs of financial literacy. The A for accounting, B, balance sheets, C, cash flow. So we teach you creative cash flow strategies, many of which will help increase your income by 30% in 30 days. And guess what? You're going to learn all of the creative tax strategies that we know and that we use and that our clients that are in our program use as well. We're going to teach you real estate investing, not just the object of real estate, but the concept of investing. We also have a sales and marketing program inside of this blueprint to show you how to create a sales script, how to go through a sales process with a prospect or a lead, how to market yourself, how to be bold enough to build a business around your brand, and how to become a brand ambassador. We also teach you many other creative things like how to price your products, how to package your products, how to take your ideas and turn them into products and services. We teach you about goal setting, about scheduling. This is on-demand, 24-hour-a-day online program that will literally change and transform your personal, your professional, and your financial life. And so I want you to text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213, and we're going to reach back out to you to tell you more about our Millionaire Blueprint. We can onboard you immediately so you can get started training, and you can have an advantage on everyone else that comes into the new year, because they're not going to have access to this type of information because they may be comfortable where they are. They may not want to climb that income ladder, but I'm going to show you how to do that. And when we call you back after you text this number, if you're interested in becoming a part of our upcoming Millionaire Mentorship Program. We have a Millionaire Mentorship Program that we're launching within the next 2 weeks, preparing for 2022. It is a Millionaire Mentorship Program. It's going to be a 1-year program, and it is simply a accelerated coaching and consulting program. So I'm basically taking everything that I have as a coach, everything that I have as a consultant, and I'm going to take time with high performers, top performers, 6-figure earners, and show them how to scale into 7 figures. We have a lot of people that are currently in our 1-year business coaching program that we started in April. It will end for a lot of them in April of 2022, in another 3 months. But we have a lot of them who are already moving up that income ladder, who will not only become millionaires, but will become coaches and consultants and trainers to show other people how to become millionaires. So if you're interested in our Millionaire Mentorship Program, we are officially kicking it off, launching it January 1 of 2022. Please ask us about it. We'll be more than happy to share with you what that Millionaire Mentorship Accelerated Coaching and Consulting Program is all about, what the benefits are for you to join it, and what we're going to help you do in that mentorship program. We also have a certification program for coaches and consultants. We're going to be training you as a coach and a consultant. We're going to show you how to properly coach and consult your clients, how to monetize that, how to build a brand and a real business around that. I have proven that you could be successful with a coaching and consulting business. The first month, just to show you, and I'll be talking about this more within the next week or so, but just to give you some math behind it. The first month that we launched our business coaching program, this was after my wife and I had already validated, and our team, we've already validated coaching prior to this. We had already validated our consulting capabilities. But when we put an entire 1-year coaching program together. Within the first month, we had over $100,000 in commitments. Over $100,000. When I say commitments, contracts. People signed up for that coaching program. It was probably the first 3 weeks. I don't even know if it was the first month. So for somebody to just question and ask, well, do you have a 6-figure coaching and consulting business? Been had it. And I'm not flaunting and flexing. I'm just being 100 so you can know. I know what I'm talking about, and I know what works and what doesn't work, and it's working for me. And I'm not going to tell people that I'm teaching and training and consulting or coaching something that I know it doesn't work. So we're going to have a business certification program and a licensing program. Our licensing program is really going to offer people the best benefits, because I'm basically licensing all of my curriculum, all of my products and services to the licensee, who can in turn go and sell their coaching, consulting products and use our material, use our curriculum, use our system, use our process, and they will also be able to offer Millionaire Blueprints through their business. So you can literally be licensed to sell Millionaire Blueprints to your clients and make money off of it. So if you're interested in any of that, be sure to ask us about it. When you text Millionaire, we're going to call you back and we will discuss not just the Millionaire Blueprint with you, but our Millionaire Mentorship, our certification, our licensing, and anything else that you need. So I love y'all. Appreciate all of you. I want y'all to have an amazing weekend. We'll be back here Monday, same place, same time, right here on the Ramon Preston Show.